Internet crew, internet man dem. It's Multiplier here now. How would you, as a music producer slash person of the internet, like to combine your love of Netflix and chill and sound design? Some squeaky floor action. Anyway, I can solve this conundrum using a recommendation, and it's on Netflix. It's a documentary called I Dream of Wires. Basically, it is all about sound design and synthesizers, because back in the olden days, before the days of cymatics and massive presets and Skrillex and squeaky floors, if you wanted to make a cool noise like a whoop-de-whoop or a bass noise or any sort of electronic noise, you needed one of these. This is a modular synthesizer. It's big, it's expensive, it always goes wrong, there's no instructions for it, it's not even clear what some of the buttons do sometimes, you just buy it and you've got to figure it out, and then it breaks again because that's just what it does. And then that's basically how you used to make sounds in the olden days. And then what this documentary does is guide you through the olden days, sentences. What this documentary does is it guides you through the evolution of the synthesizer, starting off from day one when the first machine made an electronic noise, and then scientists and hardcore music people in the lab, from Robert Moog, and then the other competing one, which I've forgotten the name of, but yeah, Robert Moog, and then the evolution of, and then through to the DX7, and then it's really, really good. Essential viewing, even if you don't want to go down the route of a modular synthesizer or even design your own presets or design your own sounds. It's a central culture. If you're in the scene, if you're in the culture, if you're in music right now, which you are because you're watching this, if you're anything involved in the world of making music, either using a computery box or analog computery boxes, or even if you're just very, very, very slightly curious, you absolutely need to watch this. Even if it's just for the culture, you need to see this to see like a vision how sounds and electronic sounds came to be. I mean, if you're a music producer, especially a sound designer, you need to know what's happened so you can see how best to learn from that, or even use some of the knowledge and stuff that's happened in the past today. Also, it means when you see the word Moog, you can say Moog and not Moog, and that makes you seem like you're in the know, like you know what's what, unlike everyone else who just says Moog, a cow mooed. No, a cow mooged. Mowed. That's different for cows. In music, if you see Moog spelt like this, it's pronounced Moog, not Moog. So even if it's just for that, it's useful to know. And culture and knowledge, and it's free on Netflix, so you'd be bananas not to watch it. And it's inspiring. It may inspire you to get a modular system or start learning about it. Maybe even have a go in your DAW using something like Softtube. Is it Softtube? Did a video about it for Plugin Boutique, but I've forgotten the name. I think it's called Softtube Modular. Looks like this. I've just done an edit there. So you can actually play around with modular in your DAW if you're curious, but don't quite want to spend thousands and thousands until you've at least had a bit of a play. It's cool. It's fun. I like it. And it is definitely something that I will be playing around with in the future. Are we talking 2 months or 6 months or 2 years? I've no idea, but I'm going to start doing more research because it looks fun. It looks interesting. I genuinely don't think it will make me make. That sentence was right, wasn't it? I don't think getting a modular synthesizer, in fact I know for sure, I don't think getting a modular synthesizer will make me make better sounds, but it'll be enjoyable. And that's part of music, right? Is enjoying it. It's not just about making the craziest banger drops and having Honey's crazy tunes and stuff. It's also about the process and enjoying how you make music. And certainly there's no denying that having a modular system or an analog bit of hardware where you've got 2 hands on the buttons and the knobs and you're pressing things and twiddling things and putting wires in, there's no denying that is a more enjoyable way to make music. It's amazing. I'm stoked on it, and that's good. I mean, that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? So the documentary is not just all about the olden days. It goes right through to current day with Depfer. Am I saying that right? Depfer. I think it's Depfer and Eurorack, Squeaky Floor, and Eurorack and all of the modern day stuff with the Dead Mouse and other such things. It's really good. So it goes right through to the modern day and the kind of resurgence of modular that's kind of starting to happen. There was a bit of a dip in the 80s, I think it was, but yeah, you'll see it in the documentary, which you're going to watch because it's sweet. And also, for those maybe a bit more focused on progression, you're a type A personality and you just want to progress in the music industry, and maybe you're not too interested in enjoying the process necessarily, but you just want to get good and stuff, then it's still an interesting thing to see, because you can see, saying see a lot, you can see how this new technology evolved over time, and hopefully that will give you insights into what you want to be doing now to make the best decisions so that you do the best in the future, because you can draw parallels between modular systems back in a certain time period and electronic synthesizers and stuff. You can draw parallels between that and certain plug-in technologies now, so you can sort of predict the future and stuff, or get ideas at least to push modern day technology to the limits and then make you more interesting than the next person. As you can see, I love it. It was a recommendation from one of the artists I do the Skype consult sessions with, called Beta. I think he set his name, Beta. So yeah, it was a recommendation from him, which I then watched. I think I also got recommended it about 3 or 4 months ago from another artist I was doing Skype sessions with, but then I don't think it was on UK Netflix back then, because I did have a look. But it's on UK Netflix now. I assume it's definitely on the American Netflix. So it's on the UK one, American one definitely, and probably other countries too. It's really good, a bit buried away. Obviously the Netflix recommendation algorithm failed because it didn't get recommended to me from Netflix, but then you guys recommended it, so it's all good. Similarly, if you have any more suggestions for amazing documentaries, stick it in the comments and or email me. But that's what the community's for, right? Recommendations. So I got recommended the documentary, and then now I'm recommending it to you. Circle of life. And of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you could combine this with Netflix and chill. That's a classic win-win situation. Option A, the person you're chilling with will like music production and music and noises and sound design, and then he or she will be like, oh, amazing, sweet sounds, synthesis, and you can be like, I know something about synthesis. Or they don't find it interesting, you can always watch it in the background. Oscillators. And that's it, people, and that is it for today. A recommendation on Netflix called I Dream of Wires. Synths and noises and patch cables and stuff and buttons and lights and flashing. That's cool. So I will catch you guys on the flippity flip.